going to teach vegans how to make 5K a month like I was making with their own course, with their own coaching program, right? I'm just going to teach them how I did that.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, monkeys? My name's Seb, this is the Cam Boom. This is Seb Cam in Hawaii with some coconuts, bananas, and soon Ted Carr from Canada. So it's really hot. I feel like I'd love to just sit here with no shirt, but it's kind of distracting. Got your nipples out. So I've wet my shirt, my only shirt I've got left, until I get some new merch to be delivered soon. So I wet my shirt in the sink so at least it's cool. Ted Carr. I feel very honored to speak to this guy. He's a very busy man. He's scheduled me in, so I've done everything I can do to be here on time, to be prepared. And hopefully it will be an interesting chat for you guys. There's just a few kind of notes really I've got here, little things to remember to mention. I like to have unscripted chats.
Hey guys, Ted Carr here from Fruit Living on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to these videos already, be sure to hit subscribe right meow, because these videos are going to be epic. And if you feel like unsubscribing later, go right ahead.
Quit college, became a personal trainer, and then kind of went through Dietary and started doing YouTube, and then started doing one-on-one coaching, and then the one-on-one coaching became online courses. Now he's doing 1.5 years of these online courses, selling them for big bucks, getting people to upgrade their lives, to be healthy and happy. Currently making about, well, he had about 1.5 years of making 10 grand a month. Now he's pushing above 50 grand a month. So that's why I'm saying his time is very valuable, and I feel very honored to speak to the guy. I love the products he's selling, you know, he's selling vegan business, basically. Get your bananas out, get your cucumbers out, get your coconuts out, get your papayas out. It's time to talk to Ted Carr. Come on, Danny. Now's not the time to mow the grass. Oh, there you go. Now he's stopped. Here's the reality behind the movie set. I'm actually in the garage, and the fruit is hiding a bunch of junk that was on the table. There's all kind of laundry there. The tripod I'm using is this. I'm just leaning against this. That's the gasoline for the mower. And there's the camera there that I'll be talking to Ted with. It looks alright, doesn't it? Hey, looks alright. Alrighty then. We are downloading Skype. We are calling Ted Carr. Ted Carr, can you hear us? Oh, he's here. Alright.
What's up, dude?
Yo.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. How badly can you hear my friend mowing the lawn? Shall I tell him to stop, or is the audio okay?
I can't hear anything.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I was like, I've been waiting months, right, since the Colorado mountains. I've run to California. Now I'm in Hawaii. Finally got a moment with a good connection with Ted Carr, and then my guy's like, I'm going to cut the grass. And I'm like, what?
You ran across the ocean to Hawaii, huh?
Yeah, I ducked out of the cold. California's not as warm as everybody thinks.
Not in the winter, no, not in December.
Speaking of cold, are you in Canada? Is it freezing cold?
It's getting there, yeah. I took my jacket off for this interview.
I've done the opposite. I've put a shirt on because I had no shirt and I thought the nipples were a bit distracting. And I had to wet the shirt because I would just be all sweaty. So it's like, it's a wet shirt to try and keep me cool.
Good, man. That's the behind the scenes secrets.
I feel like behind the scenes is the scene. So I'll tell you kind of how I know you. Of course, it's YouTube, right? But I feel like I first knew you as quite a skinny, minimalist, fruit only, no fat. You made appearances at some of the fruit festivals, and that's how I kind of started watching you. But then your journey from there is quite a dramatic shift, really. Now you're like a muscle-bound businessman making more than I've probably made in my life in 1 month. That's why I thought I want to speak to this guy. It's incredible.
Cool, man. It's been a progression. It's been a progression. Let me turn my light on so you can see me better.
Okay.
That should be a little brighter. There we go. Yeah, it's just been a progression, dude. I started out in the raw vegan fruitarian niche, hence the super skinniness. And I was always really broke, hence the minimalistness.
Oh, is that why? Okay. I thought that was like, you were like, because you were the only person I know who would like count how many items you have. Like I have a laptop, I have a pair of shoes, and you would actually try and reduce the items.
Well, it's a great way of glamorizing being broke. Next week, I'll be moving to Hawaii, which is really cool. So everything you see here is things that I'm bringing to Hawaii to live with me for the rest of my foreseeable future. So a computer, I have an external battery, toothbrush, you don't need to go into that, with toothpaste, razor. The spoon is for watermelons and papayas. Floss, passport, iOS and Android. Cords. So definitely get an extra battery. Here's the cord as well. So one cord for both things. You don't need multiple cords. Here's how I wrap my headphones and my wardrobe in a bit. Not right now though. And I'll also do a video on how I pack this stuff up in my bag. Not right now though. A bed, do I use a bed? No, I actually sleep on the floor. To be honest, it's preferred if I sleep on the floor. I sleep like this, just. Like if you're gonna be broke, at least be a minimalist. Don't have to be broke with a bunch of shit, you know? So I was a minimalist hardcore, 18 items, 18 things. I'm very proud of that. Now, I don't think I could get back to that level. I think that's hardcore, dude. That's hardcore.
The video scene, you were kind of thinking like, maybe I need to get rid of one of my t-shirts. You know, it's kind of down to that level.
I was gonna cut my toothbrush in half.
You say that, I already do that, but that's because I'm traveling with a minimal kind of Batman belt. Yeah, long tooth. It gets in the way.
No, you've done epicness, man. Like the amount you've run, like that's like you've probably run more than 99.9% of the planet will ever run. You know? Yeah. I mean, I see it like in very small steps, 100 miles a week, roughly, and then I feel like that's scalable. I can go 100, 400 a month, and then I can look at a map and go 400. Okay, let's go to New York or whatever. You know? Wow, but you don't look like upper body doesn't look like you run that much. Like you look very muscular.
Yeah, well, I come from a kind of bodybuilding background, so I know how to work out, mostly calisthenics. I don't use any gym, and I know how to eat. I mean, I really do eat. When I go for it, I'll have like twice as much as most people.
Right.
And I suppose you've had to change, right? You've changed to having a bit more cooked food now. What I call quinoa, you might call quinoa, stuff like that you've introduced, right? Tell us a bit more about shifting from fruit only to more kind of little bit of cook.
I still do predominantly fruit.
Yeah. Fruit
will always be the ultimate food, always. Like, if there's one food I want to live on, it's fruit, you know? It's the best. It tastes the best. It feels the best. It digests the best. It's best for the planet, best for the animals. It's best for like the vibes, best for energy. It's best for like performance around the clock. Like it's the ultimate. The only reason I brought in the cooked food initially was because I really wanted to try and get bigger. I wanted to get bigger fast. I didn't want to freaking take so long to get bigger because I tried getting bigger, like bigger muscular on just raw food. And what I found myself doing was trying to get in way more calories through. And you can't really get in more calories with watermelon. Like you tap out after X amount of watermelon, you know? But you can get in more calories by adding in more avocado very easily, right? And it's a little bit easier to get more calories with like dates and bananas, but after a while, like you get sick of dates and bananas and avocados, and I found myself getting kind of pudgy, like just pure fat. I'm eating too many calories from that. So I thought, just doing a guess, I was like, I think maybe if I just add in some more dense cooked food, I can get by with like less overall calories, but way more protein, then maybe that'll make me build muscle faster. So I'm about to take the first bite of this mung bean noodle, quinoa, buckwheat, amaranth, millet extravaganza here. And I'm not sure what to expect. So we'll give it a go and I'll let you know. There's also some peas and mushrooms and celery in here as well. Give it a fair shot. Tried it. I look just as good on cooked food as I looked on raw food. The only difference was now I got hooked on the convenience factor of cooked food. Like so convenient being able to stock up on like a year's worth of food, you know, keep it in your garage, keep it in your closet, keep all that food in there, and when you need it, take it out, add some water, boil it, done. It's like always like at least like a 7 out of 10 quality meal, right? 100% of the time, it's like 7 out of 10. Whereas with fruit, it's very hit and miss. Like this watermelon could suck. It could be inedible. It could be so gross you can't even eat it, right? But other times it can be 10 out of 10. It's amazing. So fruit, like it has that potential to be so good. It makes you like pray to the universe, like, wow, this is like absolutely divine meal. It's like the ultimate, so nothing can touch it. But at least cooked food is consistently like 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like it's always pretty good. You just cook up whatever, add a little bit of salt, and boom, it's pretty good. So I fell in love with that convenience factor of cooked food. However, there were a lot of immediate downsides with cooked food, and there still are. There always will be, actually. Those immediate downsides being like slower digestion. As a result of slower digestion, you have slower thought processing speed, like you're just fatigued after a meal.
I was going to ask if you feel sluggish.
Oh, yep. And you have to sleep longer. Like I sleep an extra hour on the days I eat cooked food. If I do a full day raw, I sleep an hour less. It's like clockwork.
Right.
Because your body has to process that, right? So you're spending more of your life asleep, recovering from the cooked food. So with raw food, you literally get more life. Like you're actually alive a lot, like awake a lot longer. You know?
Yeah, I never really made that kind of calculation. I know I've heard, you know, if I'm running a lot more miles, I notice I need more sleep. Like I never set an alarm. Do you set alarms or do you just naturally wake up?
I naturally wake up. Unless it's like I can't be late if this appointment was at like 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. I have to set an alarm or something. But no, I just naturally wake up. Unless there's something I don't want to miss.
Yeah. So talk me through, like, just, you know, very briefly, like you're starting your day with fruit, like watermelon, for example, and then let's go through till lunch, like just an average day, like roughly what's on the menu for Ted Carr nowadays.
I'll walk you through a day fully raw and a day with some cooked.
Yeah. Perfect.
So fully raw is going to be starting the day out with some cut up fruit. I don't prep any of my food. I don't do any of my going shopping anymore. That's a big change for me. I spend most of my time just working. So my maids and my chefs, they cut up fruit for me. So I have this every morning, cut up fruit. It's either going to be cut up pears or cut up apples or cut up watermelon or cut up whatever, dragon fruit, mangoes, like anything good and juicy. I told them good and juicy. They got to taste test it first. If it's not good for them, like don't feed it to me. Good and juicy. I want that first thing in the morning. Not first thing in the morning, but as my first meal. Then the next meal is going to be a big, thick smoothie, like dates and bananas and berries and spinach and, you know, just like your hearty fruitarian smoothie. And by that point, I'm good to go until the evening time. I got plenty of food. Big smoothie. I'm talking like 64 liters, like a big smoothie. Yeah. Dense, thick. It's not watery either. It's thick. Good amount of calories. In that cut up fruit, juicy meal plus the smoothie, I'm good. And then in evening time, I'll have a big salad with guacamole on top. And by big salad, I mean like this is not big salad. It would be like 3 times the size of this bowl full of greens, and then like
it up in like a horse trough.
Yeah, a horse trough, exactly. Like it takes me like an hour and a half to eat that salad. So as I'm eating that salad, that's like my only downtime to like watch educational stuff online. I used to watch a lot more educational stuff while I'm eating because it takes forever to eat that thing, dude. It's delicious. I love it, but it just takes so long to eat. So it's like I got to be productive while I eat that.
No, I think even Scott Jurek said he tried raw for a while, but it just took so long to chew. Like literally, you're just chewing, and cooked food, you can just kind of wolf it down.
That's an excuse, man. Like raw food, that's only for the salads. Like the salads don't need to. You don't need to eat salads. I was just doing it. I just do it for like the luxury of it. But you can do, as you know, you can just do fruit all day, right? And if you want the greens, you can blend it in a smoothie and drink it back with your fruit. Like raw vegan doesn't take longer. That's an excuse. He just likes the cooked food. So on my cooked food days, it looks pretty much identical. I just swap out that salad in the evening for a bowl of cooked food with some like leafy greens on top. So raw leafy greens on top.
So is it mostly or potatoes you go to?
No, I don't like the potatoes. I'm not a huge fan of those in terms of like they crash my energy pretty hard. What works really well for me is I like fruit, cooked fruit. So I like cooked squash. Butternut squash, it goes really well for me. I like that. And then I like, as you know, quinoa. I like buckwheat. Quinoa and buckwheat work really well. Probably one of my favorites actually is just oats. I like oats.
Yeah, I've been kind of specializing in oat banana pancakes.
Yeah.
Like I soak the oats, I mash up some banana in there, and then I cook it. And if you put it in a pancake, if you put it in the oven, you can make kind of cookies.
Dude, I had cookies. I had that. My maids made that. They made oat banana date cookies for me. That was it. 3 ingredients. They just put it in the oven, and it was boom, done. So good.
Amazing. So now I love the fact that this is what I wanted to get onto next. Now we're kind of done with the food. The business advances of Ted Carr with. I didn't even realize you've got that much help, like maids and chefs and so on and so on. But talk us through, as I understand, you quit university, right? Went straight into personal training, and then you were training people, of course, with the fruit and the information. But you found that doing one-to-one coaching was kind of like, you've only got so much time in a day. And if you want to make more money, you've got to coach more people. And there's a limit to how many people you can coach, how many hours you can put in. So then you've gone towards online courses, and spent about a year or so making maybe like 10 grand a month. Now it's going up 50 grand a month, like crazy kind of numbers. Talk us through that. I mean, that's just incredible.
Yeah. So these things, it was a progression over time. I did what you said. I dropped out of college. It's now a university. So I can say I went to college, not university. I dropped out of college, and I dropped out of college because I freaking hated it. And like the one thing in my life that was really attractive for me at the time was like being a personal trainer. So I started doing that. As I got into personal training, learned about nutrition. So I went to trying to teach that. And then I was doing all the personal training in my parents' house in the basement. I turned that into a training studio. But then my parents got divorced. I had to leave the house because the house was being sold. So I was like, I don't want to live with my mom, pick with my dad. So I'm just going to fly away to Bali. So I flew away to Bali, and I'm like, okay, now I have to make this online thing work. Look, I've been a personal trainer for a year. I know enough about fitness and health to get clients in real life. I could probably do it online too. Only to realize I had no idea how to market myself. No idea how to sell anything. I thought the way to sell something was to build a PDF ebook, put it on your website, and you're set for life. Like, I thought the sales just come. I didn't know you have to actually make the sales. Or I didn't know you had to actually like create an automated system to make the sales for you. I just thought you put it on your website and you're done. So, needless to say, I didn't make many sales, and I started getting pretty desperate. Funds started running out, and I'm like, I gotta make this work, man. I gotta make this work. So I do not want to go back living either with my mom or my dad. I have to make this work. Luckily, I met some mentors, met some cool people in my life. Met them at fruit festivals. They taught me how it all works online, and did what they said, followed everything they said step by step, exactly what they said, and put together my very first like online course. And they taught me how to sell that, and that sold pretty well. I started making like $2,500 a month with the course. And then I was like, well, what if I start offering one-on-one coaching to these people online, the same way I was offering one-on-one coaching at home? So I know that sells. So that immediately made me another $2,500 a month. So now I was doing like 5K a month. I was doing 5K a month consistently for a while, and then I decided to take that money and put it into building the first ever Canada Fruit Festival, which I think you were going to maybe even come to.
Yeah, I was hoping to. The original plan was to run there. I was going to run up towards New York, up the East Coast, into Canada, and then back. Yeah, but everything started shutting down, locking down, whatever, roadblock and all sorts. And so I decided I'll just head for the original goal, which is to run to California. But I can get on a plane, if and when you do.
Oh, exactly. So I was inspired to put that festival together because it's because of fruit festivals that I really built a name for myself in the niche, and it was because of fruit festivals that I got to meet my mentors and my girlfriend. It was because of Fruit Fest that really made me realize there's such a big community here worth serving, right? And so that's why I want to put together my own fruit festival in Canada, and now I had the funds to do so because I was making this money from working online. But Fruit Fest, although it was a success for the attendees, financially we lost a shitload of money.
You're saying you
terrible
in the
finance. So I went from having not much money at all to then being in debt, like 30 grand. So I'm like, how the hell am I going to make 30 grand back and quick? Because I don't want to be making 30 grand back over the next 6 months doing like 5 grand a month like it was before. I want to get it back a lot quicker. So what can I do? I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was like totally just like, oh, it's so much stress, 30 grand debt. Like I need to make the money back quick. I needed to like just calm down, slow down, just reset, right? So I did a dopamine fast. I did a 7-day dopamine fast. Basically locked myself up in a house with no food, no technology, no music, nothing, no books, just myself and my notebook, a lot of writing, a lot of doodling, a lot of brainstorming, pen to paper for 7 days straight. Came up with like a crystal clear vision that made me really excited. I was like, I'm going to teach vegans how to make 5K a month like I was making with their own course and with their own coaching program, right? I'm just going to teach them how I did that. So it was so clear to me. I was like, this is for sure going to sell really, really well. So I came back to the internet after 7 days of dopamine fasting, put together my webinar, put together my new program, launched it. And within my first 30 days, I made $18,358. First month, I was like, holy shit. And so I've just been rinsing and repeating that method ever since. So I went from basically 5K a month to like 20 grand a month in the snap of a finger. But it required me to lose 30K for me to have that bounce, you know?
Yeah. And at some point, you must have had to overcome what I call, or what I feel like is this, what I feel myself is this fear of sales. I don't want to be a sales guy. I don't want to be trying to like convince someone, come and buy my thing and follow up and like that kind of sales pitch makes me feel icky and kind of sick inside. Yeah. But tell us a little bit. I assume you kind of felt that way. It's not unique just to me, or feel that way.
I think most people feel that way. We don't like being sold, but we love buying shit, right? Like I love buying shit. Like these headphones. I love buying these headphones. It gives like people buy shit all the time on Amazon. Like I buy stuff all the time. I bought this phone. Maybe you bought that shirt. I don't know. Maybe someone gave it to you. People love buying stuff. That's not a problem. It's just people don't like being like sold, and they don't like feeling salesy. They don't like salesy people. Totally understandable. Yeah, understandable. So what I like to do is when I do my pitch, when I offer my product, what I do is I teach for like a full half hour, 45 minutes of like really good shit, like all my best shit that no one else is teaching. It's really unique. It's like from me, right? And I teach people specifically like the 3 or 4 things that like they need to succeed but aren't quite sure how to do, like how to pick their niche, how to create an irresistible offer, what to say on social media so that they grow an audience of buyers, and then what to say so that they can actually sell that thing without being salesy. So I teach people like these are just 4 examples of what I could teach. So I teach that in my training, and then at the end of the training, I'm like, okay, now that you've learned a ton, how would you like me to help you put everything you've just learned into action? And if they say, yeah, cool. Well, here's what I've put together. I put together this program. Inside the program, I offer boom, 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 boom. If that sounds interesting to you and you want to get some help implementing everything, you can just book a call with myself or someone on my team. That's it.
Right.
That's the
pitch. It's quite easy. They're already on board. You're not trying to kind of drag them in by the,
No. And I straight up say multiple times, I'm like, by the way, this call, booking a call with us is not for everyone. It's only for you if you're this, right? We qualify. We qualify before they get on the call. We qualify before even they get on the training. And then once they are on the call too, we qualify them again. We say, like, before we even sign them up, we say, look, we look for these specific things in our clients. We want to make sure that you have these traits before we can work with you. Like, honestly, do you have these traits? Do you think you could do this? And if they say, no, not really, we say, cool, no problem. We'll send you some free training over the email. Check it out. If they do say, yeah, I do have the training, okay, cool. We can work with you. So we're like, we only want to work with people if they really want to work with us and they can actually put in the time, they can put in the effort, they can put in the focus. So it's not like, I hate, my personal thing is like, I hate people who are like, oh, you should buy this thing, Seb. Seb, you should really buy this. Bro, you should sign up, dude. Dude, it's only $500. You should do it. Come on, let's go. Like, dude, don't be an idiot. Just buy it. You should buy it. It's $500. Like, that's super, like, fuck that. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm just like, do you really want this? You sure? You sure you want this? Okay, well, here it is, $500. So yeah, that's how we do it. There's no pressure. It's like the opposite. We're like repelling them almost.
Yeah. It's much more natural and comfortable for them to come to you. And so you've been outsourcing, delegating, hiring assistants and so on. Like, talk me a little bit more through. I'm sure you're familiar with the 4-hour work week, Tim Ferriss kind of idea. You know, hire a web guy, hire a sales guy, hire a whatever. You've even got someone cutting up your food. Like, I'd be intrigued to know more about, you know, transition from being a one-man band and doing it all yourself to getting people on the team. I mean, it's really about the right people, right?
Yeah. I wrote down a while ago, it was like maybe a year ago, I wrote down, like, if I had like my hands tied and I could only do like 3 things, only 3 things, what would those 3 things be? I forget exactly what they were, but I think it was something like, I would talk in front of a camera, I would come up with really cool ideas, and I would tell other people what to do, like how to do everything else, basically. Right? Those would be the 3 things I'd do. And so I'm doing my best. I'm getting better. Like, every month I have a month in review and see like how I did that month and how I can do better next month. I'm getting better every month at like actually being super serious about that. Like, I only want to be in front of a camera talking. I only want to be helping my students get results, and then I only want to be telling others. So far as like, let me charge my MacBook here. I don't go grocery shopping, like I said, right? I don't cut up my own fruit. I don't rinse forks. I don't rinse spoons. I don't do my own laundry. I don't make my bed. Like, it's all like done for me. I probably should make my bed, but I don't. It's done for me. I order stuff on Amazon, but like, I don't even go pick it up. I don't open the box. Like, it's all done for me because I need to focus on my business. I need to focus on like executing on what I said I was going to execute on. That's it. So I go to bed every night. This is really, really cool. I go to bed every night like a CEO, and I'm like, hey, what does Ted need to do tomorrow to make this company succeed? So I write down everything I got to do the next day. I got to do this. I write down my MITs, the most important things, right? So I go to bed like a CEO with this big vision of what needs to be done, and then I wake up and I act like an employee. I go into employee mode, and I just do what I told myself to do the night before, all right?
Right.
So I wake up and I'm like, oh, I gotta interview with Seb. Oh, I gotta do this thing. I gotta have an interview with Nico. I gotta send that email. I gotta do that session. I gotta, buy that thing or whatever. I gotta make that video. My most important things, I say what I gotta do, and then I wake up and I do them. And that's it. Like, that's my only job, is like, tell myself what I gotta do, wake up and do it. Everything else is a freaking action, dude.
If it's not your genius, like your 3 things, like you said, if it's not your thing, you'll have someone else do it. Would you hire someone who's able to handle a lot of different tasks, or would you hire a very specific, like, that's the Photoshop guy, that's the web
Good
guy?
question.
See what I mean?
Yeah, you might think it'd be a great idea to hire a specialist, like just the Photoshop guy or just the cleaner or whatever. I thought that for a while at first, but what I've realized is I don't want to have a team of like 60 people coming at me and asking me different shit. I want to have like one person who's like amazing at a good amount of things. I want to hire full stack team members. Full stack, meaning they can sell, they can write, they can design, they can do a bunch of helpful things. They're lethal. Like one person can do all that. Like wow, like Michael Jordan, great defense, great offense, great assists. There was games where he didn't score. He just did all the assists because he had too many guys on him to score. But he could still win the game without shooting. He's that good, right? Like full stack player. So I look for full stack employees because I want to have a really big team. I think our team now is like, including our reps, we have maybe like 5 people, 6 people, but that's plenty. I don't want more than 8. That'd be way too many people to communicate with.
More people, more headaches.
Yeah.
More incoming messages to reply to and to instruct.
Yeah, and not everyone is forever. Like, let's say I put all my effort into somebody and then they quit. Like, whew, I just lost like my best person. So I want to mitigate that risk, right? So but the exception to that rule is like with freelancers. Like if there's something specific we need, like in a great example, Pinterest ads. I'm learning Pinterest ads right now. It's so unique, it's so niche that like I have to hire an expert just for that, at least for the first few hours to get the hang of it, to learn it. And then once I get the hang of it and I learn it from that Pinterest ad expert, I can release the expert, I know it myself, I can train my team on how to do it. So I will go super specific initially if I need to learn something brand new. I do that all the time with new softwares. If there's a new software I need to learn, I pay someone like $1,000. In fact, I just paid someone $1,500 for an hour of their time today. It's supposed to be an hour. It was like 2 hours. $1,500 for one session, just so I could learn something really valuable.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And when I was learning Facebook ads, I paid someone $1,000 an hour for 4 hours. It was actually $5,000 for like 4 hours, just to learn Facebook ads.
Did you hire a coach for $10,000 at one point? Is that right? I've got that in my memory.
Yeah. So I hired a coach for $10,000. And then right now I'm paying $10,000 every month. I'm paying $10,000.
Is that they were coaching you how to
get started?
They're purely business, right? Was it a life coach? Like what kind of coach are they?
Yeah. The ones I have now are one's for Facebook ads and the other one's for like CEO coaching and sales training. So it's twofold. One of them is twofold. One of them is like how to like be a better CEO. At the same time, how to train your sales reps so that they're really, really good at selling.
Yeah.
So,
for me, I feel like I've got this a bit like the feeling sick about sales. I feel like, oh, I don't want to hire a coach, or I don't want to put that money out there. But I know it's like I'm meant to be investing and growing and all that. But currently, especially with this running around the world idea, I'm quite enjoying this. Feeling like a monk. I call it like a monk. People are sort of donating, they're funding me. I'm certainly not getting rich, but I feel well provided for. I've got everything I need in that minimalist broke kind of way. But at some point, I'd like to step out of just being a monk and have more income to do more with. Like I almost wonder like how would I ever make that jump? Or should I? Like, should I just accept this monk-like lifestyle? I quite enjoy it.
Dude, that's the cool thing about life is like, if you're healthy and you're happy, there's like nothing else really you need to do. Like you're happy and you're healthy, right? And it's like, if you can find a way to sustainably be healthy and happy, amazing. I don't think everyone, you don't think everyone needs to run around the world, right? You're just doing it because you love doing it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
adventure.
Yeah, it's an adventure, and for people like myself, looking at you, it's like the grass is greener. Like, oh, I'd love to be out there running, getting Hawaii right now, and getting some sun on me, and growing my beard, and that sounds great. And then you're there, maybe thinking, oh, it'd be great to be doing what Ted's doing, and he's making good money, whatever, having his fruit cut up for him, right? But the grass is always going to be greener as long as we're happy and we're healthy. Like, it doesn't really matter what you do as long as you're doing what you want to be doing. So
yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Are you doing what you want to be doing? If yes, great, keep doing it. If there's something else you want to be doing, ask yourself, is it worth dropping what you're doing right now to do that thing? Because that's the thing a lot of people aren't willing to do. They're not willing to drop what they're currently doing. And it's like, you have to drop it because you have to get better at this other thing. And you can't get better at one thing unless you drop something else. You know, so
there's another one opens.
Yeah, you gotta sacrifice.
Straddle the doorways and be in too many places at once. I feel like for me with the running, it's such an effort to, of course, put the hours in. Like you used to train triathlons 6-8 hours a day, right? It's very similar to that schedule. Plus trying to edit the vlog. Now, where is there time to learn about Facebook ads? You know, and then I wonder why am I trying to grow the channel? I suppose really at the real basis of it, when I ask myself, like, why am I doing all this? Why am I even running? Why am I putting the vlogs out there? I just want more people to know about this lifestyle, to be healthy and happy. So I do want to reach more people. It's not necessarily about more income. It's definitely sharing the message.
Yeah, and that's what I love about that's what I love about ads is like you can reach. Like, if you have 1 million followers, Seb, and you make a post, do you know how many accounts, how many people that actually reaches that post if you have 1 million followers?
I guess probably only like less than 50%, right? It's smaller. It's not going to reach all of them.
It's probably gonna be like, out of the 1 million people, if you make a post, I mean, all we have to do is go on Instagram right now and see, like. Let me just quickly do this right now. We'll actually get a number. I know a person who has 1 million followers. I'm gonna go. How many people actually like it? And then we'll triple that number. Okay. Great example. Someone's got 1 million followers here. They're getting 21,000 likes on that. 15,000 likes. Average like 15,000 likes. So we triple that, and we say 45,000 accounts. So 50,000. That's what I was gonna say. 50,000 people. So even if I want to be extra generous and say, no, let's say it hits, let's say they hit 100, let's say they hit 100,000. They're hitting 10% of their following, right? So you're hitting 10% of your following. So if you have 1 million followers, if you've amassed 1 million followers on Instagram and you put out a post, you're only going to reach 10% of that, right? Still a good amount of people, 100,000 people. But last month, I have like 40,000 followers, right? On Fruitarian. Last month, I was able to reach 300,000 unique people. So that means I had the following size, I had the following power of someone who has 3 million followers, right? The ads. That's how I'm able to make the money I'm making, because I'm just reaching the masses. And all my messaging to the masses, it's just all vegans. I'm just hitting up vegans. And I'm spending all my money on like vegan ads, and every now and then my ads don't land on vegan pages and people saying, I'm not even vegan, stop showing me this ad, right? But like my vegan message is getting out there. It's like 300,000 people, and the only way that's possible is if I was to have 3 million followers, right? But I don't have I have freaking, like, most rappers don't even have 3 million, or most like professional athletes don't have 3 million. Like the biggest person in the vegan industry that I know is like maybe 1.5 million or something, like on Instagram. But I was able to reach, I'd like triple that size because of my ad spend. Right? My ad spend works because my webinar works, and that's what I teach people how to do. So if people like yourself, like you want to reach the most amount of people possible, well, the money's in, or the reach is in ads.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard very similar kind of things from people like Gary V. You know, he's always harping about Facebook ads, using that to increase the reach.
Incredible when you see the numbers.
Yeah, and then it's underutilized right now. People are barely even aware. Like, people will spend a lot more on like a TV or radio, you know, the old school kind of advertising, and Facebook is way underpriced. Of course, most people are on Facebook, so it's amazing to reach people and target that audience. Target a specific, like, in Hawaii, in Honolulu, you know, who are vegan, who go to that, you know, that's school, whatever, you know, you can really target it down.
Who are also talking about watermelon, you know? Like,
right.
They'll hear us right now talking about watermelon. Next ad will be like, hey, do you like watermelon? How'd you know?
Watermelon in Honolulu?
Yeah, exactly. So Facebook is lethal for that. They're so good at pinpointing who sees the ad. And YouTube's the same. I'm running ads on YouTube as well. So that was just 300,000 people on Facebook. It's like another freaking 100,000 on YouTube as well. So can you just reach the masses? without having to wait years to build and amass a large following. It's really cool.
Yeah. So your lifestyle now is kind of something like, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, 8 hours of sleep and then something 12 hours of work, is it? Or 1 hour of eating and an hour of working out. I remember it saying very regimented, you know. But you enjoy the work.
Dude, the more I can work, the happier I am. Like I love just being able to, like I said, go to bed, say what I'm gonna do, wake up and do it. Like that's my dream life. That's my dream life. Just go to bed, say what I'm gonna do, wake up and do it. And like how many hours that takes to do it? Well, I'm awake for 16 hours pretty much. I like to spend at least an hour moving my body, either going to the gym or going for a run or rowing machine or swimming or something, go for a hike, at least an hour of that every day. I like to go in my float tank for at least an hour every day too. So there's 2 hours right there. They're taken up. Plus there's the transition time between here in the gym or here in and out of the float tank. So it's like another hour, let's say, in combined. So 3 hours I need for like self-care time throughout the day, during the weekday. And then the rest of the time, it's like 13 hours is spent working. Right?
Yeah.
So, and when I was, something was happening in my house, I forget what, I couldn't work here. I didn't have internet at one point here. So I had to go to my friend's office. And I'd go to my friend's office at like 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning. I'd go there at 7 a.m., check in the office, sit down at his little office desk, open up my laptop. And I would leave at 8 p.m. every night. So I was there for 13 hours every freaking day at his office. And he's like, you work a lot. And I was like, I didn't realize it, but I'm stuck in this office. There's like nowhere for me to go. Like I have to just work. So, but like it gets filled up. But what I really do, I'm really proud of is on my weekends, every Saturday, Saturday is a fun day. So I work for like 4 hours first thing in the morning. Then the rest of the day is fun. I go to the spa, I go to the gym, I go to the lake, cold dip. I go like maybe watch a movie with my friends or something. Like we just have fun the rest of the day. But I still get to bed at 8 p.m. on Saturday because just because it's weekend doesn't mean you change your sleep schedule. Otherwise, it screws you up for the whole week. And then Sunday, I try to like just leave open for like whatever needs to come up. Sunday is like a fun day as well. Just whatever wants to come up. I try not to work too much, but still bed by 8. And I didn't do that for a while. I was like, I don't need the weekends. I'm just going to work 7 days a week. It sucked, dude. It didn't last long. It lasted maybe like 3 weeks tops, and I was burning out. Like I need my weekends.
I've kind of almost got like the T-shirt, no days off. Like yeah. I don't know what day it is. I'm live streaming. I'm running. I mean, I consider that my work, right? The running, the vlogging, the live, all of this constant. And I literally work every day, and I don't know what day it is. And sometimes I'm hesitant to turn the camera on because I think, oh, we're going surfing. And I think, oh no, if I go surfing, I'm going to film the surfing. I'm going to have more editing to do. So yeah, I'm kind of in that stage where I don't really have any days off.
Yeah, I mean, you're living like, you're doing so many different cool activities, I'm sure, every day. Compared to me, like me is just like the computer. So like I need to have a day where I'm like not in front of the computer so much.
Yeah, your work is literally computer work. And so where do you go from here? What's your projection for the future? Where are you headed? Why do all this? Why accrue all this money?
It's a good question. It's a good question. As far as what I'm going to do with the money in the future, I don't know. It's not. You don't need much to live. You need to live comfortably. I think like basic minimum wage should be like 10K a month for everyone. 10K a month. If everyone's making 10K a month, they can live however they want. Like that's plenty of money for savings and emergencies and all that stuff. The rest of
investing as well, like just to throw that out there, Bitcoin is going up and all these things,
Yeah, I invested in Bitcoin. I invested in Bitcoin a while ago when it was like not a cool thing to do and it was not safe, when it was really risky. So I'm happy I did that. Bitcoin's today it's like an all-time high, I guess, right? But I don't look at that. I honestly don't care. I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin even if it hits 100K. Like I'm keeping my Bitcoin. It's just like I'm going to give it to my kids. That's just like a little nest egg for the kids if I have kids. But I don't know what I'm going to do with the money. I don't have really any plans for it. I just want to amassed a good amount of it and put it all over it. Buy land, of course, would be great. I had a cool opportunity the other day speaking to someone in Australia. There's potential I buy land in Australia, big durian farm, and then they take care of it. And that way, whenever I want, I can go fly out to Australia and eat as much durian as I want, then bounce, and he still takes care of the land. So that's like potential. As a fruitarian, dude, like a fruitarian with money can like do some really fun stuff, right? I'm not the type to be like blue collar and like just be like Warren Buffett and just build a huge fortune and do nothing with it. Like I want to build like fruit forests around the world. That'd be amazing. Starting with the durian forest in Australia, that'd be fun. But at the same time, I don't want to get distracted with shit like that. Like I want to just focus on my business, and then when the time comes, it'll come. But my business, what I want to do when I say focus on my business, I mean I want to focus on helping vegans make a shitload of money. I want to focus on helping vegans make at least 10K a month. And so to do that, my product needs to just get better and better and better and better. Our service needs to get better and better and better. So when we first started launching this academy that I have, Course Creator Academy, dude, we offered support once a week, every Wednesday. You come in, you get help with us every Wednesday. That was the thing. And then we're like, well, we should probably add another day of the week because Wednesdays, you know, it's not enough. Some people need help on Monday too because they don't want to wait all week. So then we added Monday. And then we're like, well, what if we added like a Tuesday call just for tech support? I mean, it sounds good. Let's do that. So we added Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And now we're like, well, what if we add like a Thursday call? So now we have a Thursday call. We're like, well, what if on the weekends? People need help on the weekends. Cool, we add a weekend call. So now we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. It's like, well, I want Friday and Sunday too. Like, let's give them 7 days a week access to support. So I want to build like the best online vegan business school possible. And right now there's like zero competition, or there's zero alternatives. Like you can't go and find a vegan business school online. It doesn't exist.
I'd love to hear some, you know, sort of tip of the iceberg success stories of people that, you know, you don't have to name names or whatever, but someone who's come to you as kind of, hey, I'm thinking of making t-shirts or whatever. You've coached them and now they're, you know, they're skyrocketing. What are they up to now?
Yeah, we do. So that example, like we would straight up on the phone to be like, sorry, man, we can't help you. We don't do t-shirts. Like we don't deal with anything physical. We just help vegans create digital products. So if vegans want to create ebooks, courses, or coaching, those are areas of expertise. Some people want to do like retreats and masterminds and stuff and like things like that. It's like, okay, cool. But like ideally we work with people who want to sell evergreen products and programs, right? So we, just an example, we have a whole wall of testimonials and success stories. I won't go into that now, but people can check that out on our site. But a recent example, a girl from Amy, her name is, from the UK. She didn't want to sign up at first, and she even admits it. She's like, I didn't want to sign up because Ted was in Canada and I'm in the UK. I didn't think there would be like a good support system there for me. She signed up, and within 21 days, just doing everything we said, she went and made like $4.5 grand US in 21 days. Right, so it's like, that's, the thing is like, and there are other students who've done similar numbers, even more than her actually, but she's just the most recent example. But like, the reason she succeeded, it's important to mention, and she doesn't say this in her testimonial, but I'll say it here just to be transparent. The reason she succeeded was because she actually put in the work, to put in the hours. Like this is not get rich quick, right? This is not couch to marathon in like a day. It's like couch to like a 400 meter, then 400 meter to a kilometer, right? Kilometer to a 5K, 5K to a 10K, right? 10K to then maybe a half marathon, taking it easy. Then eventually do the marathon, then eventually do the ultra. But if you're able to just go full hog and focus and do every single thing we say and actually sacrifice all the other things in your life, yeah, you can get this up and running in 21 days and be profitable. You can do it in less time. Like, bro, if Seb, if you were to come over to my house right now, and I was just to work with you privately for 3 days, we could have you up and profitable in 3 days. Like 100%. Because there's only so many things to do. It's not an infinite list.
Yeah.
It's like once you have your product and you've tested and it works and you've grown your audience and you set the webinar up and you drive traffic, like it either sells or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, we pivot. And if it does, great profit.
Right. Well, I'm on my way to your house. Just might take me a year to run there.
No, for real. So that's the thing. People think like, oh, it's never-ending list of things I got to do. It's like, no, there's a finite list of things you have to do to be up and profitable. And Amy, that example, is just one example of someone who just went through it as quickly as possible, as quickly as she could do it, and made really good income. This was just a couple weeks ago. So we have people ranging all ages too. There's like a 15-year-old kid in there. He's in high school right now, full time. He joined, and you know, young kids are very like impressionable, right? They'll like, it's almost dangerous.
Please, 1 second. Are you done? Yeah. Carry on.
I was gonna say, like, young kids, they're so impressionable, and I didn't really realize it until I started working with this kid. But he's so impressionable, and he like got so inspired by seeing everyone else's success. He wanted to be a success as well, and so again, just did everything I said. Within his first 4 weeks, he launched his program, and he's now done over $4,000 as well. And that's just within his first 4 or 5 weeks as a 15-year-old.
And these people don't need like credentials, like they've qualifications or years of experience or zero. Like, why would someone trust them? Say, they put their digital product out there. How do they gain the trust of the client customer who's paying them?
Good question. So there's a few ways of doing that. There's a few ways of building trust. One is just by being a trustworthy person. You can sign a sense if someone's trustworthy. That's one way. Another way, or in addition to being a trustworthy person, is to get people results in advance of ever asking them for any money whatsoever. So one way of getting someone a result in advance is just by helping them like see the world differently, helping them understand how to get the result that they're looking for. So I'm sure you've had coaching sessions with people where like you didn't physically go out and do anything to get a result, but after that coaching session, you're like, wow, this person was like the shit. Thank you so much. That was super helpful. Like you just learned a lot from them. So just by teaching people stuff that really resonates with them, they trust you. Because they're like, yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. Everything he's saying makes sense, therefore I trust him. Or I heard.
Yes. Show me your certificate. They're kind of like, you've already made an impact, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you just got to help people get results. And another way to get people to trust you is just to show them that it's worked for you. Like if you have really big biceps, right? Not that I do, but let's say I have really big biceps. There we go. Let's say I have like the biggest biceps. And someone's like, dude, how'd you do that? And I'm like, well, here's how I did it. And I show them how I got the big biceps. They're going to trust me because I just showed them how I got the result. Now I can say, hey, how would you like me to help you grow your biceps in the same way that I grew mine? Even though they know how to actually go and grow the biceps, because I just taught them how, they still want help implementing. So what I encourage my students to sell is sell the implementation. Teach the how and the what and all that stuff, but sell the implementation. Sell the guidance, sell the ongoing support and motivation and ongoing aid.
Amazing. Right. I feel like I don't want to take too much of your time since it's so valuable and we're limiting, we're going to cap it. I'll do a real quick fire kind of. These are just fun ones that I like to ask everybody. Things like top 3 books that you recommend, top 3 movies, stuff like that. Just kind of quick fire round at the end. Sure. You mentioned watching movies. What would be your top 3 Ted Carr movies? I'll go and download them and be watching them tonight.
What category, dude? Pick a category. Come on.
Well, I suppose the category is I'm stranded on a desert island. I've got a DVD player, and there's only 3 movies that I can watch. And Ted Carr's going to be sent. It doesn't matter if it's a comedy or something, a documentary, like something that sort of, what would Ted?
Whatever answer I give you, I'm gonna regret it after this because I'm like, oh, I should have said that instead. There's too many good. I'll give you a few, maybe one from each category. So the one movie that I watched the most on repeat is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Right. So I know the title, but I can't think of it. I should rewatch it. Like, this is why it's fun because, like you said, your answers would change if I ask you in 6 months. But
you ask an hour, my answers will change. I'll probably say forget Ferris Bueller. It's a waste of time.
Probably Dumb and Dumber. So just so you know, we're on the same level here. Like I would have like Dumb and Dumber, Peaceful Warrior, which is a completely different vibe to Dumb and Dumber. I don't even know what my other one would be. I guess right now Lord of the Rings came to mind. Just completely different categories. Yeah. Just kind of desert island here. Like what
Probably one of the most important films I've ever watched is the latest one from David Attenborough called Life on Our Planet, I think it's called.
Okay, never heard of it. Yeah.
It's probably the most important film that you'll watch all year. Like it's important to watch that film. So I put that in there, and then a third one. Let me look at my wall, see if there's any. I mean, oh shit, dude, there's so many good ones. I'm looking at my wall of people who've inspired me.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's
My third one, dude. Shit. Let's just go with
It's meant to put you on the spot. That's the whole point of the quick fire.
Dude, a really good movie. I mean, come on. I'm trying not to regret this answer. I mean, anything by Leonardo DiCaprio is amazing, dude. That guy's a great actor. Like he's probably my favorite. He's my favorite actor. But a good business movie that inspires people. I like Pursuit of Happiness. That one gets me going.
Yeah.
It's a great one. That one's fantastic. There's too many good movies. I can't answer that question, dude. Sorry.
Well, it's tough, and the same thing happens with books. Top 3 books. We're on a desert island and the DVD player isn't working.
Yeah. In that case, I mean, shit. Oh my God, it's such a hard question, bro. Let's see. Probably Desert Island, Lord of the Flies.
Flies? I think I definitely haven't read it. See, all of these little movies, and I'll try and get the audio book, or I'll try and listen, and the people listening in will maybe have never heard of these things. They'll go and look it up.
So, I mean, this depends. Are we going to get off the island, or are we stuck on the island for the rest of our life?
We're just stuck on the island, just reading the same books, watching the same movies.
because otherwise there's no sense in talking about like making money books, because we're not going to need the money.
From your desert island, you can work and have like Wi-Fi.
So yeah, I mean, Lord of the Flies is just an epic movie about being stuck on an island. That's why I mentioned that. But I mean, shit, like I pretty much only read self-development books. So I'd go with like something like How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah, I know that one.
The Astonishing Power of Emotions.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one. See, write that down.
That one is unbelievably important. Even if you are stuck on an island, that one's like a must. And I like The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
Right. Yeah, never heard of that. And then your top thing you've bought, but for under $100. Whatever comes to mind, like your thing that you think, I really use it. It's really awesome. It's a really gadget to have, but it has to be less than $100.
Yeah. Let me look around. Might be something upstairs.
I wouldn't even know what. If someone asked me that, I would have to think. I don't even know what my answer is.
Bucks.
Probably mine.
What?
I was just thinking about my own answer. I'm like, even I don't know my own answer. I'm looking around.
Less than $100. I mean, if I had $100 to spend on one thing, let's just say that, because I can't remember like what I have. I'm gonna look around. I see an MP3 player. I'm like, that to me is worth way more than $100, even though it's like freaking $20. Just a simple MP3 player with simple headphones, because you can load that sucker up. You can load that sucker up with all the thoughts you'll ever need to succeed, and you pop that in. You listen on a repeat. It's exactly what I did, and then you're good to go. Like you have the thoughts of greatness. You have the thoughts of riches. You have the thoughts of health. You have the thoughts of happiness, and you can just listen to those on repeat. So just an MP3 player. That's probably the best gift to give like a homeless person as well, rather than give them money. Give an MP3 player so they can get out of that situation.
Wow.
Think their way out of that.
Saturate yourself, like to saturate yourself with, those audio books, the motivational speaking, the whatever. You said multiple times, you said it's on repeat. It's not like a one-time listen. It's almost daily. There's some audio books where I did listen to them daily, every day for a month or something, kind of learn the words.
It's like if you go to the gym, again, let's say I know the best exercise for bicep, and let's say it's a specific type of curl, like we'll call it, I don't know, make it up, it's called a freaking monkey curl. You go like that, right? If the monkey curl is super effective, and you feel the burn, you're like, this is really good, I love it. Are you never going to do it again and say, I did the monkey curl last week, I did it last month, I did the monkey curl last year, I don't need to do it again. No, you're going to do the monkey curl like once every couple of days, maybe once every 3 days, to really build that muscle, because you know it works, it's effective. Same with a good audiobook or a good book, even a good sentence, a good fucking paragraph. Just repeat that sucker, and get it in there.
Yeah, so I hear so many people say, you know, a book I'll throw out there, one of mine, Celestine Prophecy. People are like, oh yeah, I read that once, you know, like 10 years ago. And it's like, you need to repeat it then. Listen, you know, read it again, listen to it again.
I was watching a movie the other day. I was watching Social Network. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen it yet. I barely get any time to like watch other people's stuff. I'm so busy editing and running along.
Take those Sundays off, man. So I watched Social Network the other day, and like I watched it like maybe 5 years ago, and it was so good. Watched it twice actually before. This was my third time watching it. But as I'm watching it, I'm like, this is brand new to me. Like I don't remember 99% of this, right? Even though on a lie detector test I'd pass, and I'd say I watched that thing twice in its entirety. Yeah. Yet as I'm watching it this time, I don't remember like anything I'm seeing right now. I kind of remember the gist and the vibe, but I don't remember the scenes of like that happening, that happening, that happening. It's like, would that actually? And if I took a lie detector test and someone asked me, "Hey Ted, did this thing happen in Social Network?" I'd be like, "No, that didn't happen." But as I'm watching, I'm like, "Whoa, that actually fucking happened! Wow, crazy."
Honestly, have you ever done a lie detector test? I just wondered.
No, but no. I would be
too. I'd sit down and do one of those.
Yeah, that's you were asking earlier how to come across as trustworthy. Just do a lie detector test. See, you can believe me.
Yeah, it's connected right now to my veins. So same kind of question, but on the flip side, an awesome thing that Ted Carr would have bought, but it's over $1,000, like a real amazing laptop or phone or whatever. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but awesome thing.
Probably the one purchase that's made me happiest, and most external things don't really make me happy, but this makes me happy every time, and I'm so glad I bought it. It's well over $1,000 though, but it's a Tesla.
Right. Yeah. I took a photo with the Tesla, and I kind of was shocked, like, oh, he bought a Tesla, or he's kind of standing next to one. Like, I wasn't sure if it's one of those like Instagram rentals. Or you bought it. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah.
Best ever, dude. Best purchase. It's so safe, so reliable. There's no freaking gas. There's no issues. It's autopilot. Like I'm eating like watermelon as it's going like 100 kilometers an hour. I'm just chilling. Like
amazing.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even seen one. I don't know if I've even seen one. I suppose I've seen some people charging them, and maybe that's about it. So it's not really a quick fire round, but it's just something that came to my mind that I was thinking of my audience watching this. There's a lot of people in the audience would love to be you. A lot of people would love to be me, but they're trapped in some job they hate. They're just barely paying the bill. They're just trying to kind of get by. What tip could we give them for an escape route? How can they get out?
I'll tell you exactly what I did, and I would go back and do the exact same thing again. Basically, you want to, or at least what I did, is I wrote out my ideal life. I do this regularly. I'll do it, like, I don't need to wait for January. I can do this, like, today. I write out my ideal life. And I write the words, my ideal life, right in the middle. And then I draw a circle around it. And I draw these lines. And I just say, like, okay, what do my ideal relationships look like? What's my ideal diet look like? What's my ideal fitness routine look like? What's my ideal income look like? What am I doing for income? What's my spirituality practice look like? What's my self-care time look like? What does it actually look like? I want the visual. If I can't get a visual, how am I supposed to make it happen? And then once I have all that laid out and I know what it all looks like, two things I got to do next. I got to go online and get pictures of those things. So I can, again, have visual representations of like a physical thing I can look at. And like, that's the thing I want, that's the thing I'm getting. Float tank was one of them. That's probably my second best purchase, by the way, the float tank. But
you mentioned that we had that. This is something that a lot of people miss, is you write it down. I love the way you're saying you draw it in the middle and it kind of spider diagram brainstorms off. But a lot of people will sit there and think, oh, I'd love to do what you're doing. They've never written anything down. They've never even got pen and paper. I think that's the first step to take, isn't it? Get a pen and some paper.
Yeah, so you do that, and then you can go get pictures of things on Google Images or Facebook or Pinterest or wherever. And then the third step I took is I just found people who already have those things that I want. And I studied those people.
Nice.
Like, they had the answers. Like, You just had an hour call with me. You could have asked me anything. And I do that with people. I pay them $1,000 an hour to ask them anything because what they have is what I want and it's in their head and I'll pay them to get it.
Yeah.
So like if someone has the funds, the fourth step would be to then pay those people in each of those categories to tell them exactly how to get that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to imagine that this classic character who's stuck in the job they hate, they don't have the money, they don't have the way out, they're barely scraping by, you know, they're just working. They got the weekend off, that's about it, but they're just barely recovering. They haven't got time to even, you know, go on Google Images and collect the red Ferrari and whatever. But they do have, you know, they need to stop watching that crap TV show and, you know, invest their time in dreaming more. Essentially, what you've said is dream more and study the people who are already living the dream.
The really like an underlying part of those steps when you write it down and you get the pictures and you start studying the people, even if you don't hire them, whatever, at least you got to start embodying the feeling of what it would actually feel like to have those things and be those things and do those things and be experiencing those. You have to embody what that feels like. And that's kind of difficult at first because no one's ever taught you how to feel what it feels like to make 20 grand a month or 30 grand a month or 50 grand a month or 100 grand a month. Like no one's taught you what that feels like. So you have to just come up with it yourself and just make it up. Like what would it actually feel like to be making that much money? And you have to actually feel that every single day, as often as you can. The more you feel what it feels like to make 20K a month, the faster you make 20K a month. The more frequently you feel what it feels like to have a girlfriend, the faster you'll have a girlfriend. The more frequently you feel what it feels like to have a Tesla. Every time I drove my shit car, dude, my shitbox car, it was a Tesla. So every time I drove in it, I was like, this is a Tesla, this is a Tesla, this is a Tesla. Like, this is what it feels like to drive a Tesla. This is what it feels like to look out the glass with a Tesla. This is what it feels like to park a Tesla. Even though I was like, my e-brake and shit, Teslas don't have that. Even though it was a gas car, it was always like, this is what it would be like to do it with a Tesla. And then next thing you know, I'm test driving it, and I'm like, oh, this is what it is like to be with a Tesla, right? Every time there's a Tesla parked in the parking lot, I'd walk up to it, and I'd be like, this is my car. And I'd walk right to it, and then I'd be like, oh, I go to my car. But I walk as if this is what it feels like to walk up to a Tesla that's mine. Every single time, because I want it so bad.
Yeah.
And with my float tank, I did the same thing when I went in my bathtub. I was like, this is what it's like to be in a float tank. And I've been in my freaking bathtub, dude. It's not a float tank. But I'm just imagining. When I was really young, I did this with like girls I want to be my girlfriend. I'd like go to bed like hugging my pillow. Like, this is what it feels like to hug that girl, you know? Like just daydreaming, fantasizing, manifesting it, pulling into my existence. I do this all the time. And it starts with like getting clear on what is on paper and then getting a visual and getting in contact with the people, talking to them.
People saying, okay, pack your bags as if you're going to the airport. Go to the airport, even though you don't have a ticket really, you know. And it sounds silly and it sounds like, oh yeah, right, collecting a scrapbook and pretending to pack. But what else are you going to do? Just stay in your crappy job, you know, and watch TV and pay the bills?
Yeah, it sounds hokey pokey. I mean, going way out of your way to do something like that, like pack your bags and go to the airport, that is kind of inconvenient, like to do that. Like I wouldn't do that personally, but like what I would do is like, let's say I had to fly an hour away to see my grandma or something. Instead, as I'm flying there to see my grandma, I'd be like, this is what it feels like to fly private. I'm flying private.
Right.
And I do that now when I'm flying economy. I was like, I don't want to be flying economy for much longer. Haven't flown economy since COVID. But anyways, I don't want to fly economy much longer. Like I might be flying private next year. Who knows? I don't see why not. But I'm like, every time I'm sitting in economy, I'm like, this is what it feels like to sit in private. And then what I do is I wait till I'm the last person off the plane. I always do is I get up and I go and I sit in private when the plane's empty. I sit there. I'm like, I'm actually sitting in private right now. I could pass a lie detector to test saying I sat in private. Right?
Yeah.
Private.
What you need is a friend. Like I met a friend called Marie in Kansas. I've been staying with people as I run across America. And as I was running across Kansas, I met Marie. She works for American Airlines, I think. And because she's an air hostess, she's able to get people in as one of her, you know, guest list. So at least you can get cheap first class, very similar price to economy. So yeah, you need to envision making friends with a flight girl.
Dude, and I did that too. I would intend in Thailand, it was like an extra $10 to fly like an extra $20 to fly like at the front of economy to get like the extra legroom. I would do that every time, just because I wanted to, again, feel like, oh, I'll pay for the upgrade, I'll get that royal experience. And I go in and you literally get an extra 2 inches of legroom, but I'm like, this is what it feels like to fly first class. I just kept embodying. And dude, I create something, and I take this to the next level. I created something called, there's no such word for it, I made it up, with audio loops. And what I did is I would create like a 10-second recording, a 5-second recording, a 3-second recording of me saying something that I want to manifest. Like, I make $10,000 a month. I would just loop it. I make $10,000 a month. I make $10,000 a month. I would just listen. And the other day I found my original recording of when I said that. I was like, I make $10,000 a month. And I was listening. I'm like, wow, I don't remember doing that. But I remember like doing that a lot with different things, but specifically 10K a month, embedding that feeling into my subconscious. So that eventually, like when you look in the mirror, like, of course I make 10K a month. Like
I think some people be sort of embarrassed or afraid to write down or put on their bedroom wall, I make 10K a month, or to make the audio loop in case they don't make it, in case it's sort of like their mates might see it and say,
dude,
you know.
It has to be unrealistic. It's what we tell our students when they first join the program. When we say, what are your goals? It has to be unrealistic. Because if it was realistic, you'd already be experiencing it. So of course it's unrealistic. Because where you are, as of this moment, it's not realistic. You're wanting something that you don't have. So it's therefore, by definition, unrealistic. It's not real. So it has to be unrealistic. So if you're going to make it unrealistic, you might as well pick a number that you want. And as soon as here's a big, like, I'm going to pop everyone's bubble here. Once you start making 10K a month, you'll quickly find it's nowhere near enough. Like, you want 20K, and that becomes enough for like a day. Then you're like, no, I want 30K, you want 40K, you want 50K. And dude, last month we did close to 100K, and it was not anywhere near enough. Like 2021, we want to be doing 300K a month, and as soon as we hit that, it's not going to be enough. Like, it's not going to be enough. And it's not because we want more money, it's because we know we can do better. We know we can do more. We know we can help more people. We know we can, like, just make things more effective, more efficient. Just like you running, man. Like, I don't know what your best 5K time is, but I guarantee you could have done it a second faster.
I've never timed myself. I've never been into racing, but I know you're using it just like a metaphor. But yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm running out there for the freedom of feeling like I'm going places. A bit like, I'm not really a runner. I don't consider myself a runner. I'm just out there on an adventure. Or the same way, like, someone might drive a car, but not necessarily a driver. They just use the car to get around.
Gotcha. That's really interesting.
You don't time anything or quantify anything except how much fun am I having?
Sweet. That's really cool. Yeah. As a triathlete though, it's like we want to be faster. And
I think mindset. Those people who I see running, they're running like this, looking at but I don't do that. I'm just running like changing my tracks on my music or whatever, and just trying to just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I appreciate the persistence. I know last time didn't work, and we got this time working. So awesome. Be cool if I can get a copy of this interview, and I'll send it to my peeps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you. Over and out. Boom.
Later.
All right.
See you later.
Later, man.
Boop. Awesome. What a cool guy. Whew. A lot of commotion around, people mowing lawns, in and out, but it is what it is. We made it happen. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. And who am I most likely to hire as my coach in the future? You know what I'm saying? What an awesome guy. Over and out. Boom. My name's Seb. This is the cam. Push the button. Boop.
Tonight, take an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at everyone's favorite TV series.
Seb Cam. Yeah!